Hello and welcome to your 10 at 10. Today is June 13th. And today I am at the Copper Kettle. We're making vodka today. But the 10 at 10 is obviously really important. And I wanted to make sure that you guys, caught this, right? So today we're talking about, how everybody's super busy and making your business more efficient. And one of the ways to do that is outsourcing. Okay. So a lot of times, big businesses, they outsource, a lot of their labor and stuff like that. But we can do that as realtors as well. Um, you know, One of the most obvious ways, right, is by not taking your own pictures, right? Hiring a professional photographer to take your pictures, that's a step in the right direction, right? So we've got, right along those same lines, you outsource your pictures, you outsource your video. Again, in order to you take that a step further, right? Aerial photography, aerial video, stuff like that. You don't need to go out and get a drone pilot's license, right? You outsource that. Nextdoor Photos does all of that stuff. One of the other things, again, we have the Matterport camera, so you guys can shoot your own virtual reality. Another way to do that is to outsource it. Nextdoor Photos will do it. Sometimes you can have somebody else do it for you. But that's another thing that you can outsource, right? Another thing you can outsource is transaction coordination. When we're talking about your first couple of transactions, I don't recommend outsourcing that. But when we're talking about, a veteran agent that has, coordinated a whole bunch of transactions, then I definitely recommend, getting to the point where you're outsourcing, as long as you're making use of that time that you're not doing that, right? Sometimes when you really have a lot of buyers, sometimes it makes sense to outsource your showings. Like a lot of times people think, oh, well, I have to be there on every showing. No, you don't. Take a newer agent like Bella or Don or somebody like that wouldn't mind, showing a house for you and paying them to do that. That's sometimes the best use of your time. Typically people don't think, oh yeah, it's a 15-minute showing or whatever, but you got to set it up. You got to drive there. You got to drive home. And usually, if you're any of us, we're going to talk more than 15 minutes while we're there. So sometimes that is another good use of time. Let's see. Another thing, right? I see agents all the time that are like, oh, I have to, go help my client, do some painting or do some repairs, or I'm going to go and help them organize and clean up their house for, pictures or whatever. And they're going to do that. And you're going to invest, a half hour. Sometimes, I know one agent that does it for an entire morning or an entire afternoon, or, oh yeah, I help my client for an entire day, clean and organize and get ready to list their house. So sometimes that's great. But if you can find somebody that can do that for you and you have an entire day back of your life, that you're able to, again, market yourself, follow up with leads, generate more business, follow up with your clients, your customers, review offers, present offers, write offers, all of that stuff. Those are the things that you have to do. The other stuff, if there's a way to outsource it, I strongly suggest you do that. So anyhow, that's your 10 at 10 today, Tom's tips, whatever you want to call them. But today, like I say, we're talking about outsourcing. So anyhow, I hope you have a great day and do your best to make today awesome.